Even a god has a weakness.
Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey. Have you ever heard of a hero who was almost impossible to defeat but had one tiny secret weakness? Today we will explore the legend of Achilles. He was the greatest warrior in ancient Greece. Let us learn English while discovering his amazing and tragic story together. The story of Achilles takes us back thousands of years to a time of gods and magic. In those days, heroes walked the earth and fought in great battles. Achilles was not just an ordinary man, he was the son of a mortal king and a powerful sea goddess named Thetis. When Achilles was born, his mother Thetis loved him very much. She wanted to protect her beautiful baby boy from all harm. She knew that the world was full of danger. Thetis decided to use a special kind of magic to make sure no weapon could ever hurt her precious son. Deep in the underworld, there was a magical river named the river Styx. The water of this river was very powerful. It was said that anyone who touched the water would become invincible. This meant that their body could not be cut or bruised by any sword or arrow ever. Thetis took her baby boy to the dark and mysterious underworld. She stood at the edge of the river Styx. She held little Achilles tightly by his heel. Then she dipped his entire body into the magical water. The glowing water washed over him and gave him incredible magical protection. But there was one small problem that Thetis did not notice. Because she was holding him by his heel, the water did not touch that one tiny spot on his foot. His heel remained completely normal and human. It was the only part of his body that could be hurt. As Achilles grew up, he became stronger and faster than any other child. He learned to run like the wind and fight with incredible skill. His teachers were amazed by his natural talent. Everyone who watched him knew that he was destined to become the greatest hero in the world. Achilles did not know about the magic of the river at first. He just knew that he never got hurt when he played rough games. He never got a scrape on his knee or a cut on his arm. This made him very brave and sometimes a little bit careless. When Achilles became a young man, a great war began. It was called the Trojan War. The Greek army needed the best warriors to fight against the city of Troy. The leaders of the army knew they could not win without the help of the mighty and brave hero Achilles. Thetis was very worried about her son going to war. She remembered a prophecy that said he would gain great glory but die young. She tried to hide him away on a distant island. She even dressed him in girl's clothes so the army recruiters would not find her boy. However, a clever Greek leader named Odysseus discovered the trick. He brought beautiful weapons to the island. While the girls looked at jewelry, Achilles immediately picked up a sword and shield. His true nature as a warrior was revealed. He proudly agreed to join the Greek army in the war. Achilles sailed to Troy with his loyal friends and thousands of soldiers. When they arrived, the battles were fierce and loud. Achilles wore shining armor and carried a heavy shield. Whenever he stepped onto the battlefield, the enemy soldiers trembled with fear. No one could stand against his incredible power. For many years, the war continued outside the high walls of Troy. Achilles fought in countless battles and won every single time. Arrows bounced off his chest and swords broke against his skin. The Trojan soldiers believed he was a god because they could never leave a scratch on him. Achilles became very famous and proud. He knew he was the best fighter in the world. Sometimes his pride made him difficult to work with. He argued with the leader of the Greek army and refused to fight. During this time, the Greek army started to lose many important battles. Achilles had a best friend named Patroclus. Patroclus was a kind and brave man. He saw that the Greek army was in terrible danger. He begged Achilles to return to the fight. When Achilles refused, Patroclus asked to borrow his shining armor to scare the Trojan soldiers away from their ships. Achilles agreed to let his friend wear his armor. He warned Patroclus to only push the enemy back and not to attack the city walls. Patroclus put on the famous armor and rushed into battle. The Trojans thought Achilles had returned, and they ran away in absolute terror and panic. But Patroclus forgot the warning. He chased the enemy all the way to the city gates. There he met the greatest Trojan warrior named Hector. Hector fought bravely and tragically defeated Patroclus. When Achilles heard the terrible news about his best friend, he fell to the ground in deep sorrow. Achilles was filled with anger and sadness. He decided he must avenge his dear friend. He asked his mother Thetis for new armor. She went to the god of the forge who made the most beautiful and strong armor ever seen. Achilles put it on and prepared for total war. Achilles returned to the battlefield with a fierce roar. He fought with so much anger that the whole Trojan army ran to hide behind their city walls. Only Hector remained outside to face him. The two greatest warriors of the war finally stood face to face on the dusty ground. The battle between Achilles and Hector was legendary. They fought with spears and swords. Hector was very brave, but he could not defeat the invincible Achilles. In the end, Achilles won the battle. He had avenged his friend, but his heart was still heavy with grief and bitter, lingering sadness. After Hector was gone, the war still did not end. Achilles continued to lead the Greek army to victory after victory. He seemed completely unstoppable. The Trojans were desperate. They prayed to their gods for help to defeat this terrifying warrior who could not be harmed by any normal weapon. The god Apollo heard the prayers of the Trojans. Apollo knew the secret of Achilles. He knew about the magical river and the one spot on his heel that the water did not touch. Apollo decided to help a Trojan prince named Paris to finally defeat the great Greek hero. Paris was not the strongest fighter, but he was very good with a bow and arrow. During a massive battle outside the city gates, Paris aimed his bow at Achilles. He pulled back the string and let the arrow fly. It was a long shot through the chaotic, dusty battlefield. The god Apollo guided the arrow through the air. The arrow flew past the shield of Achilles. It flew past his shining chest plate. It zoomed straight toward the ground and hit Achilles right in his unprotected heel. The sharp arrow pierced the skin of that one vulnerable tiny spot. Achilles felt a sharp pain in his foot. It was a feeling he had never experienced before in his entire life. The poison from the arrow spread quickly through his body. The invincible hero stumbled and fell to the ground. The great Achilles had finally been brought down in battle. The Greek soldiers gasped in shock. They could not believe their eyes. The man who had survived countless swords and spears was defeated by a single arrow to the foot. Achilles looked at his heel and realized his mother had missed that one spot. His time had finally come today. Achilles passed away on the battlefield surrounded by his weeping friends. The Greek army mourned the loss of their greatest hero. They built a magnificent tomb by the sea to honor his memory. His name was spoken with respect and awe by everyone who heard the tale of his bravery. The story of Achilles is where we get the phrase Achilles' heel. Today, when we say someone has an Achilles heel, we mean they have a hidden weakness. Even if a person is very strong or smart, they might have one small flaw that can cause them to fail completely. This expression is used very often in the English language. For example, you might say that a brilliant student gets perfect grades in math, but spelling is their Achilles heel. It means spelling is their one weak point. Learning this phrase helps you understand English idioms much better and faster. Let us think about the deeper meaning of this fairy tale. The story teaches us that nobody is perfect. Everyone has a weakness no matter how powerful they seem on the outside. It is a natural part of being human. We should accept our flaws and learn from our mistakes. Achilles relied too much on his invincibility. He thought he could never be hurt, so he took unnecessary risks. If he had been more careful and humble, his story might have ended differently. Being aware of our own weaknesses can actually make us stronger and wiser in our daily lives. We can also learn about the danger of extreme pride. Achilles let his pride get in the way of his duty. When he refused to fight, he caused his friends to suffer. True heroes use their strength to help others, not just to show off how great they really are. The love of his mother Thetis is another important part of the story. She tried everything to protect her child from the harsh world. But parents cannot protect their children from every single danger. Sometimes people have to face challenges and experience pain in order to grow and become strong. In many ways, the heel of Achilles represents our own human nature. We are all vulnerable to something. It could be a fear of public speaking or a bad habit like procrastination. Recognizing what our Achilles heel is can help us work on improving ourselves and overcoming our personal obstacles. When you read English stories like this one, pay attention to new vocabulary words. Words like invincible and vulnerable are excellent additions to your word bank. Invincible means impossible to defeat. Vulnerable means easily hurt physically or emotionally. Practice using these words in your own sentences to remember them well. Another great word from this story is prophecy. A prophecy is a prediction about what will happen in the future. In ancient tales, prophecies almost always come true. You can use this word when talking about predictions or expectations. Expanding your vocabulary makes reading and speaking English much more enjoyable. Let us also review the word avenge. To avenge means to take action in return for a wrong done to you or your friends. Achilles wanted to avenge Patroclus. It is a strong verb often used in dramatic stories and movies. Keep a notebook of these exciting new English words. The tale of Achilles also shows the importance of friendship. His bond with Patroclus was stronger than his desire for glory. Good friends support each other in difficult times. Think about your own friends and how you help one another. Friendship is a universal theme in stories around the world. Notice how the story uses contrast to make the plot interesting. Achilles is a massive, strong warrior, but his downfall comes from a tiny arrow in a small spot. This contrast makes the ending very dramatic and memorable. Writers use contrast to keep readers engaged and surprised by the outcome. As you continue your English journey, try to retell this story in your own words. Describe the magical river and the shiny armor. Explain how Paris shot the arrow. Retelling stories is a fantastic way to practice your speaking skills and build your confidence in using the English language daily. You can even practice with a friend. One of you can pretend to be Achilles and the other can be Patroclus. Act out the scene where they discuss the battle. Role-playing is a fun and interactive method to improve your pronunciation and learn how to express emotions in English. The ancient Greeks loved telling these stories around the fire. They did not have televisions or the internet. Storytelling was their way of sharing history and teaching moral lessons. When we learn English through these classic tales, we are participating in a tradition that is thousands of years old today. Think about the heroes in your own culture. Do they have magical powers or secret weaknesses? Comparing stories from different cultures can help you understand the world better. It also gives you interesting topics to discuss with English speakers from various backgrounds. Sharing stories bridges gaps between different amazing cultures. The character of Achilles is complex. He is brave but also arrogant. He is loyal but also stubborn. Complex characters make stories feel real. When you write your own stories in English, try to give your characters both strengths and weaknesses. It will make your writing much more compelling always. Let us summarize the main points of our lesson today. We learned the exciting story of the greatest Greek warrior. We discovered the origin of the famous idiom, Achilles' heel. We also explored important themes like pride, friendship, and human vulnerability. You have learned so much in just one video. Remember to practice the new vocabulary words we discussed. Invincible, vulnerable, prophecy, and avenge are powerful words to add to your daily conversations. Use them when you describe movies, books, or real-life events. The more you use them, the more natural they will sound when you speak English confidently. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey into ancient mythology. Fairy tales and legends are excellent tools for learning a new language. They capture our imagination and make learning grammar and vocabulary feel like a fun adventure rather than a boring chore. Keep exploring the wonderful world of English stories. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Your support helps us create more beautiful and educational content for you. We love reading your comments, so please tell us what your favorite part of the story was. Do you have a favorite fairy tale or legend you would like us to cover next? Let us know in the comments below. We are always looking for new and exciting stories to help you on your English learning journey. Your suggestions guide us in making the best videos possible. Thank you so much for watching Fairy Tales English Journey today. Keep practicing your English every single day. Remember that even the greatest heroes had to learn and grow. Stay curious, stay brave, and never stop learning. We will see you in the next magical story adventure very soon. Goodbye.